Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. So last week we had our week-long Warhammer Fest of reveals, and well, seeing as we was busy with Tyranids week, I thought today it would be good to go through the reveals with my thoughts and reactions. So let's not waste any time and just jump straight in. Now, I think it will make the most sense to go through it day by day rather than jumping around all over the place, even if there is certain things I want to talk about more than others. So day 1 began with Age of Sigmar, and the big announcement of Kragnos, the end of empires, a god rising within the Age of Sigmar. And look, I'm certainly no expert on the 8 realms yet, highlighted by the fact I always keep thinking there's 9. I can certainly, however, appreciate an interesting new narrative, and a returning god is most certainly that. And plus, bringing some much needed love to the Destruction Grand Alliance is only a good thing. They've really been on the back burner to the other alliances thus far. As for the model, what else do you expect with a god? It's right up there with Morathi and Teclis for sure. Though I'm not sure about that closed mouth head option. There's just something to me that makes it look a little off. He's looking like an angry Chip and Dale here. Kragnos, the god of the Rescue Rangers. Ah, the Rescue Rangers. Fun times. But no, honestly, this is an amazing model, and aside from that alternative head option, I am completely on board with Kragnos' arrival. With all the god action going down in AOS, and with the new edition on the way, which we'll discuss later, the time has most definitely arrived for me to choose my faction and dive into the Age of Sigmar. Now, of course, Kragnos was not all for the Age of Sigmar, and we also had a slew of character reveals for the upcoming Soulblight Gravelords. Now, when these guys were first revealed a few weeks back, they absolutely stole my heart. I mean, just look at these models. That Vampire Lord is just oozing character. The White King honouring the old model but updating it wonderfully. The Crimson Court, which is the best warband I have ever seen, including Prince Duval, who just screams all kinds of Vlad von Carstein to me. I always wanted a Vlad who wasn't decomposing, and Duval is absolutely it. And let's just not get me started on the Blood Knights. Oh my lord, they may just be the best cavalry out there. Just look at the banner. Oh man, these guys are awesome. My hype level for the Gravelords is right up there. However, in being honest, I wasn't ecstatic about these reveals here. Maybe it's not the Soulblight Gravelords I'm yearning for. Maybe it's just the vampire counts of the old world. I can absolutely appreciate the sculpts of all of these reveals, I really can. Every sculpt GW is revealing is just knocking it out of the park in terms of quality. There's nobody more surprised than me that I wasn't ecstatic when I saw these. Maybe it's the way the two bodies connect together, it just seems a little odd. I just don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. However, in the space of a week they have already grown on me. So when I see it in person, I could well change my mind. I think we all know models always look even better when you see them for real as opposed to on a screen. And I'll absolutely be getting most of the range anyway. So we'll see here, maybe I'll use them for vampire counts instead. Or maybe the Soulblight Gravelords will reel me in. However, that was it for Monday, and Tuesday we moved on to some 40k action. The next chapter of Warzone Charadon, and Bellacor's arrival into 40k. But come on, this was all about the Adepta Sororitas. And boy, the sisters did not disappoint. First up, Morven Val, Abbess Sanctorum of the Adepta Sororitas, a High Lord of Terror bestriding the battlefield. Oh boy. Now, I'm not sure a High Lord would be allowed to just strut about on the battlefield, well, barring Valoris, but let's just appreciate this amazing model and character. When I first saw those Paragon warsuits, I wasn't too sure. They just seemed a little too elegant for 40k. Give me those bulky dreadnoughts any day of the week. However, I've got to say, the more I see the Abbess, the more I am falling in love with this model. I think when you see this in person, it's just going to blow you away. She is absolutely a must purchase. Next up we had Astrid Ferga and Agafe Dolan. Models themselves are nice enough here, nothing mind-blowing. But oh man, that standard she is holding looks awesome. We have come a long way from the old sticky banners, that is for sure. Or let alone having to try and freehand it yourself. The Dogmata and Palatine we've seen revealed before, and they're just fairly standard sisters of battle to me. Nothing bad, but nothing amazing. But then we come to another reveal which I just absolutely loved, and that's the Blade Guard Veterans. Oh no wait, sorry, Celestian Sacrosants. Okay, yes, they are just Sisters of Battle Blade Guard Veterans. Yes, the sister range is getting a bit close to the cookie cutter copy of the Primaris. But when you get models that look as good as these girls, are we really going to complain? I absolutely love these. Again, I wasn't too sure when we saw that pike option revealed a few weeks ago. However, these mace-wielding badasses are all kinds of awesome. Honestly, as much as my wallet doesn't want me to, I think they may just have sealed the deal on starting a Sisters Force. Alongside that new Castigator tank, man, I think the time has most definitely come. Now on to Wednesday, and maybe the most exciting one for us loreheads, with the Black Library reveals. And look, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. My favourite reveal of the entire week, bar none. No, not the Gaunt Ghosts models. Book 6 of the Siege of Terror. Warhawk. Jaghatai Khan facing off with Mortarion. And it's written by Chris Raitt. Oh yes. I swear I nearly had a heart attack when I saw this. You guys know by now I am extremely fond of the Kargan. Chris Raitt has done an absolutely stellar job of bringing him and his entire legion to life. I am so pleased to see Chris Raitt has written Jaghatai's defining moments within the siege. The other authors have done a great job with Jaghatai, there's no doubt about that for the most part. But come on, it just had to be Chris Raitt. Guys, if you have not read Jaghatai's novels in the Heresy series yet, make sure you do, because I cannot wait for this. Oh man, so excited for this one. Now, other than that, yes, there was more revealed on this day. The new models for Gaunt's Ghosts, which I'm pretty sure are universally agreed to look fantastic. And along with them, we got a host of books dedicated to the war within the Sabbat worlds. Add to that 2 new Astra Militarum stories, and there's a lot of reasons to be excited if you're a fan of the Guard. And for me, they are good, no doubt, but you know I love a good mystery story, and there were some lovely new Warhammer crime reveals to most certainly sate my appetite. I still haven't got round to reading the last collection of short stories that came out, but either way, returning to the shadowy depths of Varangantua is something I will most definitely be looking forward to. It brings such a nice change to the Warhammer 40k universe, and it will most definitely be nice to talk a little more Warhammer crime on the channel. Lastly for Wednesday, however, we had a Necron reveal, the Twice Dead King Ruin. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get into Xeno stories, but I like the sound of this one. And the Necrons for the most part have been very enjoyable, so I'm pretty hopeful for this. So that was it for the Black Library reveals, and really there was quite a bit more than expected. I'm sure most people are hyped for Gaunt's Ghosts, but like I said, the Warhawk announcement just absolutely made my week. On to day 4, and we had the Boxed Games Day. Now out of these, I'm only personally interested in Necromunda, and it was certainly good to get a glimpse of the House of Shadow and the upcoming Delac editions. They wasn't quite what I expected, but then again, I didn't know what to expect. I'll be honest, I was really hoping to see more of the old Outlander gangs revealed here. We've had the Redemptionists return. I was hoping for a glimpse of the Ratskins or Spirers, but I'll guess I'll just have to keep on waiting. On to the Underworld, and we received the Idoneth Warband. Now I have a fondness for the Idoneth style, so I do think these guys look pretty cool. And lastly, the Adeptus Astartes and Eldari arrive for Aeronautica Imperialis. Now again, I don't play this one, but for those that do, I'm sure this was a pleasant reveal. Day 5, however, Soros returned to 40k. And again, 40k did not disappoint. Right lads, this is the plan. And it's proper cunning and mawky. I absolutely love the look of the Beast Snaggers. And that's coming from someone that's never been a huge fan of 40k orcs. But these guys just look awesome, you can't deny it. The character of them, the quality of the sculpts, it just ticks all the right boxes. Do I wish the army set wasn't limited edition and is going to sell out in split seconds? Yes, of course. But at least all of these models will be available sometime down the line afterwards. You're not running the risk of missing out on anything unique. I will say I hope we get more Beast Snaggers released, as honestly I'd like a full force of just them. And they did say there's more on the way for the greenskins, so hopefully that's a few more releases for the Beast Snaggers as opposed to the rest of the range. Let's be real, they did just blow the old school Orc boys out of the water. That's the only problem with some of these ranges, you get a couple of new releases or characters and those old troop models begin to look real dated. Necron and sister players have really lucked out with their whole ranges virtually being done. I can just hear the Eldari players weeping in the distance. I have hope for you guys, I have hope. Not to be outdone though, the more cultured orcs, I know it's a stretch, received the mega armoured warboss, and that is nothing short of another beautiful miniature. Now someone sent me the Iron Father Feros meme, and I can see it no doubt, but let's just appreciate a great model when we see it. The lads will be happy with this one. And the Wolf Lord might just have to join. Talking of troops, well, we didn't get a new Cadian range as the rumours suggested a few months back, but we did get a Cadian upgrade sprue. Now, I was pretty surprised by this. However, maybe I'm in the minority, but I think the Cadians have aged pretty well. So I think an upgrade sprue works okay. And there's some nice options included on this sprue, there really is. I don't think they necessarily need a whole new unit. Now, the only exception to this is for scale reasons. I haven't begun an Astra Militarum force yet, so I don't know how the Cadians compare to more recent releases. However, I've been on record as you know, I would much prefer the Catachan troops to be upgraded first. Lastly, for the day we received the Fire and Magic teaser. The Grey Knights taking on the forces of Tzeentch, demons and Thousand Suns by the looks of things. Now I think the main question is, are we going to be getting Primaris Grey Knights? I think we may need to have a discussion on that one very soon. And finally, day 6. Most likely the biggest reveal of the week for those of you who aren't as endeared to the Kargan as me. The next edition of Age of Sigmar. And I am actually very excited for this, because it's really the perfect opportunity for me to really dive into the Age of Sigmar for the first time. I've always watched it from afar, but honestly, when is there ever a better time than the release of a new edition to take that plunge? Which faction is it going to be? Well, that I don't know yet. I'll take you guys on the journey as I try and decide. The first model we saw revealed was Indrasta, the Celestial Spear. And no, that's not Sanguinius, nor the Sanguinor, or even Dante. Ah, Dante, when will you get that new model? But I digress, she looks awesome. And while we're at it, let's just take a moment to appreciate that artwork to boot. Now that is impressive. Along to go with Indrasta, we saw the reforged Stormcast Eternals, the Vindicator. Now adorned in the newly forged Thunderstrike armour. Straight from the off, you can see the evolution of the Stormcast models. They've lost that overly chunky look, and are looking much more streamlined now. It's definitely a move in the right direction, whether you're a fan of the Stormcast Eternals or not. I think we can all agree they have some of the best sculpts going. Some of those unique poses are really nice. The anvils of the Heldenhammer colour scheme is definitely calling to me. I'll be waiting to see the rest of the new range with a certain amount of intrigue. Finally, ending the week, we had our tease of a new breed of evil emerging, with a rather ominous poem. 3 brave soldiers went to the bog. 1 disappeared, right into the fog. 2 brave soldiers went to the mire. 1 disappeared, from around the fire. 1 brave soldier went to the fen. None of the soldiers were heard of again. And we get to see the red lights encircling the camp of men. It's definitely got to be a race for the Destruction Grand Alliance, and I was initially thinking some kind of new goblin. I admit that was based largely on them having red eyes, and me not being overly familiar with the Age of Sigmar lore yet. I've seen rumours of both the Thimir race and the Silent People, and even some form of Skaven Goblin faction. So it's definitely interesting to see what it is once revealed, as it really does appear to be quite a surprise. It's definitely a big advantage Age of Sigmar has, and it can truly surprise us with these reveals of completely new races. That's the one thing the 40k universe kind of lacks. But that was the week overall, and I have to say it was very enjoyable. As I said, the star of the week was that Warhawk reveal to me, closely followed by those Beast Snaggers and Sisters of Battle. Once those 3rd edition Age of Sigmar reveals finish coming, maybe that can take the cake. But we'll just have to wait and see. As always guys, what did you enjoy the most about the week? What are you excited for, and maybe what was you disappointed by? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.